Dealing with anxiety and depression, amongst some other things, is a bit much, especially when you are trying to deal with it without depending on things that most people depend on in that situation. A lot of us don't know that we overuse other things, whether it be just plenty of things you can just imagine. Basically, because of something. There's a root to that. There's a reason for it whenever you overuse anything. And I've been there before. But the reason I started off by saying that is because I do suffer from anxiety and depression. And even though I'm not embarrassed by it, it did take a lot of time for me to accept it. Like I said, I deal with a few other things, but those are the main two things that really, sometimes, really, truly, that I'm just starting off with sharing this. So they really get to me sometimes. Sometimes I can't really sleep too well, you see? Yeah, that's why. Because I'm up thinking or just worried about things. I'm starting a new job and I have a lot of catching up to do. I've been working since I was 14 years old, probably 13, but 14 years old at minimum. And the whole time that I have been doing that, I've really been working towards I've been working towards goals. I wasn't just, doing that just to get my money. Yeah, that was it too. But it wasn't just for that. So I've always been goal oriented. And that was passed down to me. But still, I've always been goal oriented. And so I took a fall a couple years back when my grandmother passed away. And the reason I'm bringing that up right now is because now I can somewhat deal with it. But I'm also bringing it up because I have a friend who, and many friends who are dealing with people who they've lost in their life. And they came to me this morning and told me that they were stressed about it. And it reminded me of why I did begin walking or exercising, because that in return gets my serotonin levels increase. Your heart rate getting up increases your serotonin levels. And your serotonin being up helps with anxiety and depression. So a while ago, when I did find out I had these issues and I was still in denial about it, I had always been interested in counseling people. I've always been pretty decent at it too. So I said, now I have to counsel myself. And that has not been easy. I had to get some help. I had to lean on other people. And before I was open enough to lean on people, I had to start going to therapy, and I started exercising and, like I said, researching ways to help myself. I didn't want to depend on medicine solely if I didn't have to. There were some healthy and unhealthy healthy things and unhealthy things I did, but I'm going to focus more so on the healthy things. I started eating a little better, like incorporating certain fruits and vegetables that do help with anxiety and depression. Bananas are one that helps with depression. I started getting more into the different arts that I like. Writing, reading, listening to music, even making some, but I'm not that great at it. I like other people's music. But I'm decent at writing. So I enjoy that. And that's something that my grandmother did. So I kind of do that in memory of her. But what I'm saying is that when you're dealing with a loss, whether it be of a loved one, of anything else, sometimes it can be really tough. And if you do suffer from any of those things that I mentioned earlier, it could be hard to not lean on it too much. So today I just want to encourage anyone who's dealing with anything, whether it be a loss, whether it be a setback, obstacle, those are about the same things. Understand that is just that is just preparing you for the next level of your life. When you get past that obstacle and you've learned whatever lesson you needed to learn, and you remember that that is actually just a blessing in disguise, it is preparing you for the next part of your life, your next season. That is when that is when you'll start to feel a little better about it. I mean, think about it. If you're still alive today and you got a chance to get up and basically you have a chance, you woke up today. So you have another day to get it right? So instead of focusing, yeah, and it's hard sometimes. I totally understand. But instead of focusing on what you don't have control over, focus on what you do have control over. So today is just another day that I'm choosing to try to go in a better direction that's going to help build me up versus break me down. And I pray that anybody else, going through it, finds a good way to channel it as well. When those things, like I said, when I found out about my anxiety and depression, and it was around the same time I lost my grandmother, and it really heightened around that time. And I didn't really want to ask my loved ones for help. I didn't want anybody to see me that weak. And I've been in different situations throughout my life where basically that's how I dealt with it. I would kind of deal with it alone. I would isolate myself. And I learned later on in life that that's something I've been doing for a minute. Like if I was going through too much, I would isolate myself and try not to talk too much about it. Or when I got around other people, I would try to help them or joke about things. That was my way of coping. And it's not horrible to get you some, personal time and reset your mind. It's not horrible to channel that into laughter. That's great for the heart. It's not horrible to write it out because you need to vent. It's not horrible to go running or walking or exercising in some form of fashion and getting your heart rate up to increase, like I said, your serotonin levels, which in return will make you happier. Naturally. It's not horrible to do those things. And it's definitely not horrible to pray. And I'm a Christian, so that's what I do. I follow Jesus Christ. But you don't have, listen, I'm not judging anybody that goes another way. I'm trying to focus more so on things that anybody can do no matter what their religion is. So that's where I'm coming from with, like I said, the other ways. So if you feel like sharing what it is that you do to keep your head above water, basically, and to keep pushing, then please do share it. Other than that, that's what I'm dealing with today, and I wish you all the best.